So it's just going to be you and me.
I
and you.
saw that.
Against the world.
Yeah. The Griffin. How do I customize my Griffin? I need.
Is that your Sparrow?
First. Yeah.
Just change your subclass, and it'll change what it does.
Oh,
anyway,
that's all that does? Man.
No, it does other stuff, but we'll get into that later because we've got a show to get on with. So we might as well roll the titles, get to it, and talk at people.
I got the dragon emblem. How did I get the dragon emblem?
Who cares?
Welcome to Two Titans and a Hunter, a Destiny 2 podcast. Dedicated in bringing you all the latest information, news, and opinions. This is the best show for new and veteran Guardians alike, where we share tips, tricks, and tools to help you succeed and enjoy playing even more. So with all that said, let me hand you over to your hosts, the Triumph Hunting Titan Nitedemon, the pink-panted pansy Peroty, and your Hunter Master Ranger, Mr. No One Respawns in Real Life!
So, welcome to the show this week. It is myself, Mr. No One Respawns in Real Life.
No one respawns in real life? So am I.
That makes two of us.
Right? I'm very excited.
This is an amazing show. There's two of me. No, actually, I'm Nitedemon. That's No One Respawns in Real Life. We're here to entertain you and guide you through the world of Destiny 2 as best we can. I'm sensing from the fact that you're playing the game that you're not actually going to do any of the reading and tell the people any of the stuff. So,
oh yeah, I'm not actually playing. I'm just hanging out with Andy and his friend to help them out.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
There was lots of edging. There was lots of fate, and we will decide our own fate. Will we or not?
No, we don't get to. We don't get to.
Stop getting distracted by playing the game.
All right, I'm sorry.
So yeah, we had the Edge of Fate reveal stream this past Tuesday, and it covered Bungie's plans for the future, including several core updates to the game systems that we've known for years that are just going to be refreshed, and how are we feeling about it? Because I'm a little bit apprehensive. I like having lots of different things to do in Destiny. And I like when they add, we have the expansions and we get slight changes and slight tweaks and things. But now we're looking at whole reworks of things. I'm a little bit apprehensive.
Armor,
I don't know
weapons, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah. How did you feel?
I already didn't like the fact that we're getting Armor 3.0, right? Because once again, all of the armor sets that we have are going to be completely useless.
No, not completely useless. They're going to be reworked, but they may not be as good as the.
Still give you the stats that you want, though, right? Yeah, exactly. So, okay, we don't know if they're going to be completely useless, but the odds of them being as good as they are now, after the reroll restructure, is probably not great because they want you to grind to get better armor. So I seriously doubt they're going to give you good stuff on the rerolls. I really doubt it. And the weird weapon systems, like, what is that about? So, I mean, I guess that is one way to clear your freaking vault, right?
It's one way that they're getting me to clear my vault. I did start this week. I had a look back through. I did what Peroty did. Have a look at anything that is still like 1900 that I haven't infused up, that I haven't used. Anything like armor wise that is at stat 63. So anything like 64 and above, I've kept for various different things. So I've kind of gone through and I've cleared about 30 spaces, and that was mainly for the Rite of the 9 that we had this week. That's kind of dropped.
Well, the armor stuff, I've only ever kept things that have, at a minimum, 2 that are above 20 in stat, right? So a lot of people's like, oh, if it's 65 and above, you're good. Not really, because I look for stat distribution too, right? And if it doesn't have at least 20 in 2 stats, I don't keep the armor. That's how I get my triple 100s all the time on all these armor sets. It's because every piece that I have has 2 20s in something that I care about, So, yeah.
I mean, before we get on all of that, let's have a look at the Year of Prophecy roadmap. So the Edge of Fate reveal stream had the Year of Prophecy, and we're going to have our 2 expansions. The Edge of Fate, which is coming the 15th of July, will have the season of Reclamation. It will have a reward pass. There will be major updates available to all players with new stories, new locations, new missions, new weapons, new gear, new raid. They're just in brackets the Edge of Fate. New dungeon, which will be coming later with the second expansion in December, Renegades. But before that, we will get an update to the Reclamation season for the Edge of Fate called Ash and Iron, which is due in September 9th, and that will come with its own reward pass. And they did reveal that we will be going back to the Plaguelands, which is quite exciting, because if we're going back to the Plaguelands, that means there's Siva, because no way they've done a complete cleanup job on that place to get rid of Siva. So Siva is going to be in Destiny 2, which also then...
I mean, you said that pretty definitively. I want Siva to come back. Don't get me wrong. I want it to come back, but for you to say...
Plaguelands is Siva. The Plaguelands is Siva.
That's how it got its name, because it's plagued with Siva. I get that. But how many times have we wanted something so badly, and then Bungie gives us something, right?
Yeah. But they must have created the assets for it. There must be some kind of resonance.
Must there be? Must they have?
Yeah.
Really?
There must... There's got to be some sign that Siva was there. So even if it's just the slightest touch of Siva.
Yeah, maybe decoration-wise it might be there, but I don't think
it may be.
Siva's going to be.
But that also gives us hope. It does give a glimmer of hope that Wrath of the Machine may be coming at some point, not like in the next year or two, but maybe...
Didn't they say definitively that it's not coming like a year ago?
Yeah, but
like
they said
definitively
that...
doing.
How many times have they said definitively these things are not coming back? How many times did we hear definitively Galahorn's not coming back? How many times did we hear No Land Beyond's not coming back? Let's just put that one on the pile of maybe Bungie. If we're kind of trying to get people interested in coming back, it would bring a lot of people back to go, we've got Wrath of the Machine, it's been reworked, it is different, there is new stuff to it. I mean, they did a wonderful job with Crota's End and Vault of Glass, bringing it into Destiny 2. So there is that slight glimmer of hope. So after that, after the Ash and Iron update on September 9th and having its own reward pass, there will be a major update at the beginning of Renegades, I believe it is. And that will bring a new and reprised activities, new sandbox meta, new events, new modifications and challenges, new gear and artifact mods. And expansion Renegades, Destiny 2 Renegades, is due on 2nd of December 2025. That is going to bring the Lawless season and its own reward pass, with a major update in March, 3rd of March, with its own reward pass, and that's going to be called Shadow and Order. And again, that will have its own reward pass, exotics and ornaments, legendary weapons and armor ornaments, cosmetics, and more. So how are we feeling about this? Having... Yeah, I guess it's gone back to the same way as it used to be, that we would get 4 kind of seasons. So we get the Reclamation, and then we get the Ash and Iron, then we get the Lawless, and then the Shadow and Order. But we get the kind of 2 major expansions per year. And they have said that these are going to be on the same kind of scale as the Rise of Iron from Destiny 1. So that is hopeful, because with the Rise of Iron of Destiny 1, we did get the Plaguelands. And with the Plaguelands, we got... I can't remember the name of the event where you kind of shut yourself in that kind of little tiny arena and battled it out against Siva-fied Elixni. And that had kind of tiers of bosses in it as well. What else did we get? We got Felwinter's Peak as a new social space. But again, they may be taking out, to kind of replace what we've already got. The Helm might be going, the Last City might be kind of disappearing, because we don't necessarily need those areas if we're moving on to the next expansion, because typically when we have an expansion, they kind of clear out the Helm and it's like, restart and let's go again. So the Helm and the Last City might not be there because we've got this new area in the game. So what do you reckon?
I think they're probably just going to put it off in like its own little thing on the map. Like we got so many locations on the map. Like we got Cosmodrome, we got, let me actually bring it up. So just looking at the map, right? We have all the 4 major events at the top: Vanguard, Gambit, Crucible, Legends, right? Then you have the Eternity, the Dreaming City, Nessus, Moon, Cosmodrome, Last City, the Tower, European Dead Zone, and on and on and on. They're probably going to put it in a subset of one of those, if I was going to say anything. Because I don't think they're going to get rid of anything. I didn't hear that.
They generally do, don't they? Every time that we have a big expansion, the helm is cleared out because the helm houses what we have for like the episodes and the seasons.
But it's crashed now, right?
Yeah, so but it's now classed as the Last City. And if you go onto the Last City, it's got its own kind of biome with all these different kind of nodes in it, hasn't it? So some of those things, like the exotic missions, will be taken out and put into the exotic rotator. So they'll go into the Legends tab. But things like Prison of Elders, the Nether, anything we've got with Echoes, we're doing the Battlegrounds thing. Battlegrounds will probably be integrated into the strikes and things, Nightfalls. But that will kind of mainly just be cleared out. So that might show we might have a different kind of layout for like the director and it have a separate node to go to where we're going. So,
I mean, of course,
get your stuff done, basically.
Or clear out your failsafe Ingrams.
Oh, yeah. Do that as well.
You know? Because I know a lot of us, like, I just looked just now and I have over 40 something. And I don't even remember doing any activity with those failsafe Ingrams. So, you know.
Well, you can pick up if you've already kind of completed that season, you can then go back to like failsafe. You can go back to IDO and pick up those different old artifacts. I think it is that's the artifacts that sit in your inventory that then generate engrams at those vendors in the background when you're just playing other parts of the game. So they do kind of just generally stack up. I think it was Cade's Journal, wasn't it? I think that's the one, possibly. I can't remember.
Yeah.
Anyway, so they did give a list of key dates for the next year of content. So Rite of 9 is live in game, which is the prelude to the Edge of Fate, which you can go and play now. And there are some kind of lore hints to what's actually coming. There's some teeny weeny cutscenes. There's some hidden engrams that once you kind of start completing these dungeons will appear in the kind of eternity space that you can go and pick up and have a look at. And it gives you a hint of what's actually coming. Then we have
we found that there's a secret space within the eternity space. If you know how to not Sparrow. What's the surfboard called?
You can Sparrow or surfboard. Yeah, you can. Yeah.
Well, but I mean, I know the surfboard like kind of grind over to the new secret space, which is directly in the middle. Like that pillar in the middle. If you can grind over to the pillar in the middle, there's a portal that you can go in, and that portal sends you to an alternate space that just offers the same things in the space that you're in now. But it's got if you've ever beaten if you've ever beaten the dungeon,
the Star Horse and the Emissary. Yeah, if you've ever gone flawless in the Trials of the Nine, not Trials of Osiris, Trials of Nine, it's that area, that big space.
Oh, it's also at the end of the dungeon when you do the dungeon. Yeah. So I didn't know about the Trials thing. Or that.
Yeah, that's the place for the Trials of the Nine. If you manage to go flawless, that would be the last area that you could go to pick up your flawless weapon and armor and stuff.
Well, there you go.
So yes, we have the Rite of the Nine. Destiny 2 Edge of Fate expansion is July 15th, which is a paid-for expansion. The core game update are July 15th, which is going to be available for all players. So that's what we were kind of saying at the beginning with like the Armor 3.0, the weaponry works and things like that. The core game parts will be updated and that'll be free for all players. The Ash and Iron, which is a major update, which comes on September 9th, is also going to be available for all players. Then we have Destiny 2 Renegades, which is another expansion, December 2nd, which is going to be paid for, and Shadow and Order, which is a major update, which is coming on March 3rd, available for all. And we have a new destination called Kepler, which is inspired by puzzle solving and pathfinding challenge of Destiny 2's dungeons and destinations designed, which encourage deep exploration, mystery, and player-driven discovery, with new enemies, weapons, gear, and destination-specific abilities awaiting for those brave enough to dive into its secrets.
And more puzzles.
Yes, but that's not all, because Kepler has an abundance of dark matter energy. which powers the destination's abilities. This new Matter Spark ability allows Guardians to bind to dark matter and change form, enabling them to squeeze through tight spaces, jump and dash across terrain, and become a rolling force of destruction. Additionally, abilities including the new Relocator Cannon, which uses fallen dark matter tech to teleport players across the environment, and Mattermorph, which lets Guardians manipulate their surroundings using combined forces of dark matter and strand. So I see this as kind of, it's a halfway point before we kind of get to a third darkness subclass. I don't think they're ready to give us that third darkness subclass, but they're giving us kind of these in-between things that we can use in this area for now anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And I was listening to, I think it was the Tower Casuals podcast. They mentioned, wouldn't it be really cool if you could have like just a dark matter version in Crucible, like a party version where everybody's like these little balls of lightning that they're just charging each other and blowing each other up, which would be quite fun.
What?
I know. That's amazing.
No,
a bit like we've got with the heavy metal thing now. Just everybody's these dark matter balls, or you can change like the terrain and things, and just have it just an all-out mayhem of a mode. So shout out to those guys at the Tower Casuals. They came up with a really good idea for that. That should definitely be in the game.
Bungie just made it super easy for me to get all this stuff, because every new season I spend some real world money to buy silver just in case something pops up, like armor sets and whatnot. And when I logged in this week, it's like, hey, there's a new game mode available. Go check it out. And I was like clicking on it, and it says, hey, would you like to buy rank up? I'm like, okay.
Oh.
I had like 3,000 silver, and it just took 1,500 to max it out. I'm like, cool. I got all the stuff, and I never had to go into the activity.
That's just lazy. That is pure laziness. It's only a short track. I mean,
it gave me the option, and I had the resources, so why not?
So also coming with the Edge of Fate expansion on July 15th is the major core game innovation update to how we kind of play the game, which is going to be a portal. It's going to be the one main area. Will give you new activity selection screen and offer instant access to a range of activities tailored to different play styles to make it easier than ever for players to find their next adventure. So on this kind of portal page, you have solo ops, fireteam ops, pinnacle ops, and crucible ops. And you can quick launch into your campaign. But they did say that the director will still be available to get to. So if you want to kind of just go from the location to location, you can still use the director to get to those different things. But this kind of portal is meant to be making it easier for people to choose between fireteam ops, the pinnacle ops, the crucible ops, and the newly introduced solo ops area. And, if you want to kind of just go into the solo ops activities, for example, they're designed for players who just want a kind of a short, quick gameplay session for about 10 minutes in an adventure, in and out, with no need for a fire team. And there is a TWAB this week, and it does a brief update of like a recap of the Year of Prophecy, but they did actually put a blog post out, which I'm kind of going through now. And it does show you the screenshots if you didn't watch the stream, which we will link in the show notes. You can have a look at these pages. I also link these in the show notes. But for example, the solo ops, it gives you on the picture, it says, solo ops play, this is the quick play mode. You've got quick play advanced, quick play expert, and then quick play master. And it gives you rewards. There's on the solo ops playlist, quick play master, there's a weapon being shown. So basically, you can tailor your activity to match your desired gameplay with the specific rewards that they're kind of chasing. You're going to be able to kind of select which mode you want, and then they will also show you on that director or on that portal if there is going to be a high tier reward available. And then also you've got underneath that, it shows solo ops, the conflux with boots available. So, and it gives you the tier of the boots available for that activity. So you can actually look at what your reward's going to be. Don't know whether it is actually specifically going to be boots or if it's just going to be a piece of armor. But it would be nice if you could kind of target what kind of armor piece or weapon that you need to kind of get your light to the maximum light for the season. So
you can go into like Vanguard Pinnacles, and there's another submenu that tells you what item you're going to be getting within the Vanguard Pinnacles.
Yes.
That is pretty nifty. It'll simplify things for blueberries and me.
Well, I think it's going to make it a lot easier for people that are new to the game to come in. It's very similar to how we had with when we played the Final Shape. So when you launched the Final Shape, it kind of gave you that portal-looking screen that said, "Do you want to play kind of the normal version, or do you want to play the expert version?" But you'll get higher rewards as you kind of go through. So I think it's doubling down on that to kind of make it a little bit easier for people to understand, and having all these kind of buttons that you can kind of quickly get to these different areas, which is quite nice.
Mm-hmm. Now, when are we going to start talking about the controversy with Darth Vader armor?
We're not talking about that.
No, listen. It's very important.
No, it's not.
That they gave Darth Vader a cape, and then they gave that
listen. No, because we're still telling people about this, the portal and things. So apparently there's going to be 50 all-new modifiers, allow deeper gameplay customization, and offer greater challenges for players, while curated activity rotations will ensure there's always something new to chase.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
I do like these weapons, though. Like for example, look at the Giver's Blessing, which is really the only example we have, right? Look at all the options. I mean, you have to grind like the seasonal activity you try to do and reset it, like 3 or 5 times before you can get triple perks in each column or double perks in each column. And this has got triple column, which I don't know, a special weapon, or because it doesn't say anything like adept or anything, right? It does have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stars on it. So
yes, that's the tier of it. So they're going to have a tier system for armor and weapons. So each of the 5 new tiers offers better stat splits, perks, and more bonuses and more bonus mechanics. So to earn the best gear with the highest tier, you will have to take on the most difficult challenging activities. The better the higher tiered equipment you acquire, the more challenging content you can handle.
Apparently. So it's a better version of Adepts. It's going to matter like Adepts used to give.
I think what they're going to do is maybe they're not actually going to have Adepts. They're just going to have the tier system of the weapons and the same with armor.
It's better than Adepts. Because remember when Adepts used to matter? Because you would get the stat bump, but also we would have those perks that made the weapons really good that you can only get on Adepts, like the big ones, which gives you a damage bonus to bosses and champs, or not champs, but bosses and majors, right?
Yeah.
So that was a really to chase Adepts. So this looks like an even better version because you have more perks than an Adept would. You have the higher stats like Adepts would as well, right? And I mean, it's like Adept 2.0. Now, if you still get Adept on top of that, I wonder if that's going to be a thing. Yeah,
I don't know, and I don't know how they're going to convert. They might convert like they did with some of the weapons. So some of the weapons that we've currently got now are able to be enhanced, but some of the other older weapons or weapons that are still usable, you can't enhance. So I've got things like, what was I looking at earlier today or yesterday? The Boudica C, which is the sidearm, which only came out.
Boudica C's been out for a while. Mike has been using that like on his Titan build for a long time. Are you talking about like a reworked Boudica C?
No, that's what I'm saying. A Boudica C came out. I'm just having a quick look to see when it came out. It came out in season 18, but
we're like in season like 20 something now, right?
Yeah, so it's not that far back. I'm saying it's still available, but you can't upgrade these. You can't enhance them. But then when they bring back some of the old Trials weapons, they go, "Oh well, by the way, if you've got older versions of these, they are now enhanceable." So sometimes it's worth hanging on to those weapons. But that's what I'm saying, is that maybe what they'll do is they'll take a selection of weapons that they don't mind bringing forward and going, right, these Adepts are now converted into tier 4 or tier 5 weapons. So we're taking away the Adept part of it, but these will be in the new tier system. So maybe that's what they'll do. I don't know what they can do about the crafted things, because we've got a lot of crafted weapons from various different seasons where we've got the red borders. The same with like the dungeons and the raids as well, with the red borders that you collect, and they're not easy weapons to get hold of sometimes. And to get the red borders,
especially the crafted ones, the dungeon ones, you have to run that dungeon, hope you get that weapon, hope that drops as a red border, right? And then no, because I guess you can make it a red border if you have that one material, right? But if you don't have the material, you do have to drops as a red border, or get to the end of the raid, have enough raid tokens to buy one of the red borders, and rinse and repeat until you have the 5 that you want, so you can craft it. So it is a pain to get some of these crafted weapons, a lot.
Yeah. And I don't think we really need to worry about exotic weapons and exotic armor, because they will automatically be converted properly, I think, because I think those are the things that they will have to kind of sort out, because those are things that will constantly stay through the game. Whereas the legendaries, they can kind of pick and choose, and the same with the armor. They can go, oh, this one and this one and this one, but nothing past here, or this select thing, like going into the raids and getting the armor and getting the artifice armor. I think artifice armor will probably have a higher stat conversion or a higher.
I mean, you'd hope so, but even nowadays, artifice armor is supposed to have high stats and doesn't always.
No, but I think maybe this is where they could address it. Maybe they could go, right, you've got the artifice armor, so the stats on this. I don't know if they're going to be including like the class items, because in Destiny 1, class items were included with the stat distribution. I mean, we have a sort of stat distribution with them now where you can add extra things to it to bump it up, but nothing like actually the boots or the chest piece or the gauntlets or the helmet. But then saying that, this new Armor 3.0 system is going to be bumping things up, I guess. There's going to be stat increases, and you're going to be able to increase your weapon damage, and you're going to be able to do X amount of things. Like there's going to be 200 points available to be put into your stats, like go over the top of what you actually kind of currently got. So
yeah, but there's a caveat to that, because you're not getting 6 stats anymore. You're getting 3 now, right?
No, you're getting. So the stats that are going to be available in the new armor are going to be health, melee, grenade, super, class, and weapon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and these are they're coming back with stat bonuses for the armor. So what we had with the Reckoning armor way back when we had Gambit Prime, you could put on like 2 pieces of armor and get a stat bonus for wearing 2 pieces of specific armor, and you could mix and match.
Well,
so you could
hold on. It wasn't a stat bonus though, was it? It was an ability bonus. Like for example, if you wore 2 pieces, you could mess with somebody's radar as an invader. If you had like all 5 pieces when you invaded, you would actually close their dunking station as though you were a boss, So it didn't really increase the stats, it just increases your abilities that you can have. Right?
Yeah, it would give you bonuses to wearing like those armor pieces. So you could mix and match with the Reckoning. You could wear 2 of one set and 2 of another. So you could do 2 different roles, or you could wear 4 of one whole set and get the max perks. There was about 3 or 4 different perks. So if you wore 2 or 3 and then 4 pieces, it would kind of so it would be really good. So for this new Armor 3.0, we're going to actually get stat or bonuses for wearing 2 pieces of armor and 4 pieces of armor, and they've given an example in the TWAB as well as kind of the recap of the Edge of Fate. The Aeon Renewed Strides, so wearing 2 pieces gives you Force Converter. After a final blow with any rocket or grenade launcher, sprinting for a short time gains Speed Booster. And wearing 4 pieces, once per activation of Force Converter, sprinting while at critical health, being suspended or being slowed by a stasis effect will immediately grant Super Booster for a short duration.
The one thing that I noticed, if you look at the armor itself, right?
Yeah.
Do you notice that it's got more than 10 energy?
It has. They all have now been bumped up to 11 energy.
Yeah. And then you have 5 slots now. I don't know what that first slot is. Maybe that's like the upgrade slot.
That's the masterwork, isn't it? And you upgrade it is the first slot, and then the masterwork version where it says 5 on there.
Yeah.
And then you can have your mods in there.
All your ability symbols have changed. Well, not all. You still have like the solar reloading and the solar whatever, right? But those first 3 are new. Like we haven't seen those before. They're going to be new mods. We're also restarting our power level. I see this guy's 310.
Yeah.
Health, melee, grenade, super class, and weapons. I wonder what the weapons does.
So the stat rework for the armor. So the weapon stat, so it increases weapon reload speed and handling, increase weapon damage against minor and major combatants, and above 100, so you can go more than 100 on these stats, gives you enhanced benefits, which gives you ammo bricks from defeated targets, have a chance to contain additional rounds, and increase weapon damage against bosses and opposing guardians. So your health stat increases the amount of health you gain each time you pick up an orb of power, reduces flinch from incoming fire whilst aiming a weapon, and above 100 enhances the benefit with your shield regeneration more quickly and have additional health when facing combatants. Your class stat...
Hold on, listen. You just glanced over something important. You're increasing an armor stat is going to do more damage against players in PvP. So
yes.
Now you have different weapons that do different things in PvP. Now you got to wonder, the same weapon, but he's got 150 in his weapons, so he can two-shot me, and I take 3 to 40. Whatever, right? I'm just throwing numbers out there. But yeah, the fact that it does more damage in PvP based on that number is kind of nutty.
It is, yeah. And your health stat has now kind of incorporated your... what do we have at the moment? It's...
resilience. And recovery, I guess?
Yeah, resilience and recovery is kind of combined those together, which is quite insane.
It is quite good. Yeah.
So yeah,
PvP is going to max out health and weapons.
Yeah. Your class stat reduces your class ability cooldown, increases the amount of class ability energy provided by all sources, and above 100%, it gives you enhanced benefits. You gain an overshield when you use your class ability, so that's going to be really good for your hunters. Grenade stat reduces your grenade cooldown, increases the amount of grenade energy from all sources, and above 100 enhances... Huh?
It's like, I'm looking everywhere on here for where you're reading this from. How did you get this info? Who did you pay?
It's written down. I've got it written down.
Mm-hmm.
I'm good at my job.
Bungie insider over here. Look out.
Yeah.
When you get banned...
Your grenade stat reduces your grenade ability cooldown, increases the amount of grenade energy from all sources, and above 100, it gives you enhanced benefits and increases the damage done by your grenades. Your super stat increases the amount of super energy from all sources. Above 100%, gives you enhanced benefits, increases the damage done by your super. So you imagine that with your Star Eater scales or your Star Eater scales, whatever's on your mark if you're using prismatic. Melee stat reduces your melee
with the hawk.
Well.
That.
Your melee stat reduces your melee cooldown and increases the amount of melee energy from all sources. And above 100 gives you the increased benefit of increases the damage done by your melee attacks.
So they're all... it sounds like there's a theme. Aside from the health, anything that you get over 100 is just going to increase the damage of that thing. Yeah. This is what it sounds like, unless I'm missing something. Weapons over 100 increases damage in PvP, and against bosses, super increases damage over 100, grenade increases damage over 100, melee increases damage over 100, health gives you an overshield over 100 when you use your class ability.
And the other kind of armor piece that they showed on stream was the Titan character. So the Hunter, which we've just looked at, the Aeon Renewal Strides, gives you that boost or your speed booster for 2 and 4 pieces. So the Titan has Wrecker. You deal significantly increased kinetic damage to combatants, shields, overshields, vehicles, and constructs. And constructs include barriers, turrets, stasis crystals, and other objects created in the field. And the concussive rounds, defeating powerful combatants or breaking combatant shields with kinetic damage, releases a disorientating kinetic shockwave.
Wait, hold on. Back up a little bit. Doing what releases the shockwave?
Defeating powerful combatants or breaking combatant shields with kinetic damage releases a disorientating kinetic shockwave. So it's a bit like what we have now with kinetic tremors, I guess.
So I'm assuming they mean kinetic weapons, because like if you punch somebody, is that considered kinetic?
No,
if it's uncharged, but
no,
if you
it's going to be weapons,
melee?
Isn't it? Yeah, it's going to be built around weapons.
I would think so. Yeah.
And the gear tiers, so like the one we're looking at now with the hunters, is a tier 5 leg armor piece and has the bonus stats of 11 energy. So, I've also got written down that tier 5 Kepler auto rifle has a unique shader treatment showing off the weapon and weapons icon. Also has unique kill effects for tier 5 weapons. Do you choose to turn that off and on?
Yeah, I mean, like the auto rifle I was talking about earlier, Giver's Blessing, right? It's got kinetic tremors, which is great. It's got ricochet rounds or armor piercing, which is great. It's got 2 amazing barrel perks on there. I don't know what that intrinsic perk is. I also don't know what that triangle perk is, so that could be cool and whatnot. But I mean, right there, it tells us we're getting an auto rifle with kinetic tremors. That's pretty cool, and all the other perk pulls on here are really cool too. You know, so I mean,
so what this all says to me now is that stop infusing things, save up as much kind of infusion material that you can, like enhancement cores, enhancement prisms, golf balls, wherever you can stack them and hide them, keep them and stack them and hide them to pull them out at a later date, because you're going to need them for enhancing these weapons, these new weapons anyway.
But even that, if you look at the weapon itself, right? The weapon, they also show you more stats that we're not used to seeing, right? So you get the impact, the range, stability, handling, reload speed, aim, all that stuff, right? But now they show you how much aim assistance you have. They show you how much zoom you have. They show you your airborne effectiveness on the weapon. And they show you the ammo generation of that weapon. I don't know what that means, but it's a stat that you can see now. Like, you don't have to go into DIM and look at all or light.gg or whatever specific things that the game doesn't tell you. It tells you on the weapon. Like,
they did say that was coming. They did say that was coming, that they were going to add more stats to the weapons that you can kind of are hidden stats, but you can see them in DIM and other places.
Yeah.
But the ammo generation was quite interesting because somebody pointed this out on the live stream when they were showing gameplay of it. There was these 2 little bars that are underneath I think it was underneath your super bar, and there was a green bar and a purple bar showing like green ammo and heavy ammo, and it was going up and down, so that might be a new kind of way of how you kind of generate ammo bricks to fall down on the floor, rather than kind of them just being random or coded in the background. Each weapon does a different way of kind of generating ammo for X, Y, and Z.
So if I'm using a kinetic, which has a higher tendency to, actually it's the only way to really drop heavy and special, right? You can see the bar and know exactly when a brick's going to drop. So if like I see that purple ball almost full and I shoot that guy, I know a heavy brick's going to drop where he's at. So maybe if like you're in a raid and where that guy's at is not an optimal place for that brick to drop, you can aim to maybe a guy that's closer to you, kill him, drop the brick next to you. It gives you like more awareness as to where these are going to drop to better.
And and it also helps when you have like this weapon like the Giver's Blessing, where you can see shoot to loots on there as well. So you can switch to shoot to loot, pick up that thing from wherever you shot that enemy if they're miles away, to pick it up and get it towards you. So that'd be really cool.
It is really cool. That is. Look, I'm trying not to get excited because I've been disappointed year after year after year when I get too excited. But that's pretty cool. That is actually pretty cool.
And where better place to use these new weapons than a shooting range? They've finally given us back our shooting range that we had on the Leviathan. It's back. It's not the menagerie anymore. It's going to be in its own area in the hangar of the tower. You can go there, you can push buttons, and you can shoot things and get damage numbers.
You can push buttons.
Yeah, there's buttons to push, and they did show you in the live stream. There is also a preview online as well on YouTube, which I can link in the show notes. Yeah. But it's coming 3 weeks after the Edge of Fate is live, and it's going to be a permanent area that you can load in with your whole raid team to test damage of all kinds of enemies, from red bars to bosses. And ammo is on them. And there's also going to be rally flags. So if you want to test supers and stuff. So Fallout, as across,
you're heavy. Yeah.
They've built a specific area just for you, basically. that they've built the whole part of that game for you guys. And they did tease, didn't they, that the raid for the Edge of Fate is coming, I believe it's on the 19th, which is on the Saturday of July. And it's going to be the first one that they've done on a Saturday. And I think, again, it's one of those things where lots of people have complained that it's on a Friday and they have to take time off work. Me, on the other hand, I work on a weekend, so I wouldn't be able to do it. I'm more likely to be able to do it on a Friday. But hey ho, who knows? We might get a raid team together. We might not. But yes, the 19th of July is going to be when the raid drops. And that's probably all we're going to know, apart from kind of the contest mode, how long it's going to be going on for, if there's going to be, well, I was going to say if there's going to be rules. There are going to be rules for the world's first. But what they might do, which is quite encouraging, is what they did with the last couple of dungeons. once it's been beaten on the kind of the contest version or the day one race version, is that we might actually get a chance to then have the normal version open up for us lesser skilled players to kind of go in with our teams and try and complete it. So, but they haven't said that yet, but that is encouraging that we had that with the dungeons. And I think that was probably what they were kind of testing the waters for. And this will be the kind of the first time that we have a raid that actually happens. You know, the world's first happens, they verify it, and then all of us can kind of go in and do it on non-contest version mode.
But now the Renegades season.
Now you can talk about Darth Vader.
Yeah. So, canonically, Darth Vader's had a cape all the time, right?
Cloak.
Cape, cloak, yes.
Cloak.
Okay. And even in Destiny, they gave him a cloak. So you would think
Cape.
that now you want to change it. You would think that since it's already got a cloak, that would be the hunters. No. For some reason, a character that comes pre-equipped with a cloak goes to the Titans. I'm sorry. What?
I just want to clear this up, right? Darth Vader, General Grievous, and Kylo Ren all wear cloaks in Star Wars. Well, apart from Vader, he doesn't have the hood part of it. But Kylo Ren has
Vader's
the hoodie part.
Helmet is the hood.
No. And General Grievous, when he has his his cloak that he kind of throws off when he fights Obi-Wan Kenobi. You got a cool character. He looks really cool. I like him as a hunter. And yes, I did lay down and pre-order for this as soon as I saw in the chat from you guys, because I wasn't able to watch the live stream live. I had to kind of watch it after the fact. So I was at work when you guys were all talking about Darth Vader in the chat, and I was like, what are they going on about Darth Vader? Don't tell me they've added a new set to kind of the Eververse store that I'm going to have to get.
Main class. Damn it.
Yeah, I know. I can now be Darth Vader or a Stormtrooper. I'm quite happy with that.
This is why I can't stand Bungie. Like y'all have heard me over the years talk about how much Bungie hates hunters. But this is the epitome of showing how much they hate hunters.
No, I don't think they are, because what I'm just going to give you an idea here. So if you pre-order the Ultimate Edition of the Year of Prophecy, you get access to what they're calling the Dark Side Legendary Bundle, which is 3 full armor sets, ornament sets for each class. So your Titans, you've got Darth Vader. The Hunters, you've got General Grievous, and Kylo Ren is for the Warlocks. Fantastic. But what I'm thinking is, because they've labeled these as the Dark Side Legacy Bundles, when Renegades comes out, and it should be due December 2nd, it's only going to be a couple of months before we get the Mandalorian and Grogu, which is going to be in May. I think they will probably do a tie-in to the Mandalorian. And I think at that point, the Hunters will get a Boba Fett, a Din Djarin outfit, whereas the rest of us, like the Titan and the Warlock, will get variations based on the Mandalorian, where you have like the Armorer and you have kind of some of those other Mandalorians that they look like beefy Titan versions of the Mandalorian, but they won't be the Mandalorian, so they won't get the cape and things, but they'll like be strapped up with kind of bullets over their chests and things, and the Warlocks will be like a different version of it. But I think you guys, as the Hunters, will get the Din Djarin, will get the Boba Fett version of the Mandalorians.
I doubt that.
I think you will. I think you will.
Because he is, by definition, a bounty hunter. So you would think he would be a hunter, right? But just as Bungie has shown that they don't care about canonical events when it comes to bringing armor sets over to Destiny, I guarantee the Titans will probably be Boba Fett and the Hunters will be something else, like the armor guy or a...
No, you won't. You're definitely... No, they won't do that to you.
Mm-hmm.
They won't do that to you. It doesn't make any sense. No,
this doesn't make any sense with the Dark Vader.
It does. It does. It's not.
You guys have. Why the hell do you have a cape? You have a cloak because his helmet's the freaking hood. Cloak. Okay. Why do Titans look like hunters now?
They don't. We look like Darth Vader.
I've seen the damn thing. You have a cloak, a cape, whatever the hell you want to call it. You have a big flappy thing off your back. Well, you don't get big flappy things off your back. So does
Lord Saladin.
You get big flappy things off your head.
Saladin has
Nobody
a cape.
likes Saladin. You keep bringing that up. It's a dead point.
I don't care. He's a Titan with the cape. I'm getting my capes and cloaks mixed up.
Is he a Titan? I've never seen him do Titan things.
He's got a big Titan hammer.
Oh, yeah. Never. I've got big Titan axes sometimes. Does that make me a Titan?
Anyway, during the Destiny 2 Edge of Fate live stream, they also announced the Destiny 2 Renegades. It's going to be the second expansion for the Year of Prophecy, and it's slated for release on December 2nd, 2025. And it's inspired by the legendary Star Wars universe. And Renegades merges Destiny's distinctive storytelling and gameplay with themes and elements drawn from the iconic sci-fi franchise.
No, it is straight up Star Wars. There's no inspiration there. You get a lightsaber. You get the 3 armor sets we were just talking about.
No, you get the armor sets now.
Yeah, but I mean,
there's going to be more coming
for Renegades. So yeah, you get the what's his name sidearm, the smuggler, Han Solo. You get Han Solo sidearm, right? I mean, you get. I've seen at least 2 different lightsabers. Right, I've seen the regular standard lightsaber, and then I've seen the lightsaber that Kylo Ren has with the one that's going on, the 2 smaller ones as the hilt, right?
Yeah.
So you get different kinds of lightsabers, not just a lightsaber, but different kinds, right? This is straight up Star Wars, and with just Destiny players in it.
It's definitely going to be a Destiny expansion with Destiny themes and Destiny storytelling, but it's encompassing what we've seen in Star Wars. So it's just playing homage to Star Wars.
Homage.
And I like that idea. I like the idea. In the trailer, we'll link it in the show notes, the teaser. It kind of shows you a Tatooine kind of backdrop with it looks like Jabba's palace, but it's not going to be Jabba's palace. Let's face it. It's going to be somewhere like Mars. We're going to have to go back to Mars because there's going to be outlaws on Mars. And who better to kind of guide us through this and kind of be our Jabba the Hutt? Spider is going to be our Jabba the Hutt. He's going to be sending us out on missions. We're going to be hunting down people for Spider that are going to be trying to kill Spider. It's going to be amazing.
I could see him with Jabba the Hutt. Yeah.
They do mention there's a new Dredgen, and what happens if it's Dredgen Yor?
But he's long dead though, isn't he?
Is he?
I mean,
they thought that of Obi-Wan.
Oh my god.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
So don't fear. I think they are embracing Star Wars armors, but we've had other armors. We've had things from Mass Effect. We've had the Witcher armors. They have other armor sets in the game, and I sort of like the fact that we're leaning into Star Wars. I don't want it to be a Star Wars version of Destiny. I want it to be Destiny with things that you could think, oh yes, that would necessarily be in the Star Wars universe, and I don't mind now with having the armor sets.
I mean, look, I don't mind Star Wars, right? I think it's kind of cool that we, are getting lots of new armor sets and things like that, just in general, right? Yeah. I think it's always good to just get new armor sets and whatnot. But they're going heavy into it. I mean, just here in the picture, you see Han Solo sidearm. You see the blue lightsaber, and that tag in the background kind of looks like he's already wearing some type of Mandalorian armor.
No, but it is the red kind of dust of Mars, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Or it could be another planet that has that kind of red, dusty, sandy.
Bro, what if we are going to legit Tatooine? Because they were talking about expanding the universe, right? What if the first planet that gets expanded in the universe is Tatooine? And the last subclass, the third darkness subclass, is just the Force.
I mean,
it's the dark side of the Force, where you can shoot the purple lightning and stuff, or the red lightning. Yeah. So,
but apparently, we are going to get new characters, innovative activities, and evolved mechanic designed to surprise and delight players. So your pre-order information. If you want just the bog standard version of the Edge of Fate, you can pre-order it now, and you'll get the Edge of Fate campaign, new raid, 1 active reward pass, pre-order exclusive the exotic ghost, which is an instant unlock, and the pre-order exclusive legendary emblem, which is also an instant unlock. The Year of Prophecy edition, you can have the Edge of Fate and Renegade campaign. So this is the one where you get the whole kind of year, or both expansions. You get the new raid and dungeon, 1 active reward pass, 3 reward passes. So for each kind of time that we have it. So you'll get one with the Edge of Fate, you'll get one with the Ashen Iron, you'll also get one with Renegades, and you'll also get one with Shadow and Order.
Yeah, like you said, you're basically getting the whole year.
You're getting the whole year.
Yeah.
You will also get the pre-order exotic ghost, the legendary emblem. You'll get an exotic ship, which will be available on September 9th, and you'll also get a legendary emblem will also be available on September 9th with Renegades.
You also get the exotic weapon, don't you?
No.
You don't get the New Land Beyond with that?
No. If you want the Ultimate Edition, the Year of Prophecy Ultimate Edition pre-order, you get the Edge of Fate, the Renegade campaign, the new raid and dungeon, all the active reward passes, instant unlocked exotic sniper, the New Land Beyond.
It's an exotic. So it's an exotic sniper rifle that has no scope. You just have iron sights, right?
Yeah.
But it is not the No Land Beyond. I would say it's even better because every precision hit, not kill, hit gives you a stack of what was it called?
It's called Bullseye Bolster. So landing a precision hit substantially increases this weapon's target acquisition, handling, reload speed, and stability for a short duration of time.
Mm-hmm.
And it is amazing. I took it through the dungeon, and I was hitting my precision hits and not dying. As long as you don't die, you can keep stacking it up to 100.
Yeah,
and
you can swap weapons, you can reload, you can everything. Yeah,
you can swap weapons, and it still keeps that. It's amazing. Anyway, so you get the exotic, the New Land Beyond.
Yeah, but did you see that if you get 20 stacks, you get like the huge buff at 20? But if you go all the way up to, I think, 100 stacks, you only get 3 more points to that bonus. 3 for going up another 80 stacks? I'm like...
Yeah, but it's fun to get the stacks up. And then when the Edge of Fate actually launches, you'll get the New Land Beyond ornament and catalyst. So
it's going to get a catalyst.
It's going to get a catalyst. I don't know what the catalyst does. I mean, we could see if we could look it up.
I would hope that you get more stacks per hit, or if you get a kill with a precision, I don't know, maybe you get the max 20 or something, or like 5 stacks instead of 1. That'd be cool if you get stacks faster. Or maybe increase the reload speed of this bolt action sniper rifle. Oh, God.
I've had a look on GG, and I can't see if they've got one on there. So yeah, you get that as well. You also get the exotic ghost, which is an instant unlock. The exotic, the exclusive legendary emblem, which is also unlocked. You also get the exotic ship and emblem when Renegades drops. You get the Year of Prophecy exotic emote, which is an instant unlock. And you get the Year of Prophecy exotic sparrow, which is available on July 15th. Yeah. So when that prophecy lands. But you also get instant access to the Dark Side Legacy bundle, which is your armor sets, and Secret Stash. So you get 1 exotic cosmetic, 1 exotic cipher, 2 Ascendant allies, 3 Ascendant shards, and those will be delivered with each seasonal update. But you can also go one further. You can get the Year of Prophecy Collector's Edition with a statue. And apparently this statue looks really good. And it has books and...
Well, you can see it right there.
Things. Yeah, I can.
I mean, really good?
Yeah, apparently it's really good. It's a really good make.
It just depends on what it's made out of. Like, because it looks like it's made out of a bronzy type material. And if it is, like, actual metal crafted, okay, yes, that's cool. But if it's just, like, plastic
I would be more... Yeah, I'd be more kind of tempted to get this than I would have that plastic tail with the stupid little... That looked plastic.
Yeah.
And I didn't really want it. So I didn't get it. But I probably won't buy this. I've never actually bought a physical edition of it. So, but anyway, you can have the Prophecy Collector's Edition, and you can choose to purchase the physical Collector's Edition or bundle with that purchase, or have a game code, and you get this pre-order statue of the Titan, the Warlock, and the Hunter with some books, some papers, and coins and things. Probably lots of hidden stuff on there. And yeah, that's that.
Yeah, and the No Land Beyond, I want to see some damage numbers on that, because Sorry, the new Land Beyond.
New Land Beyond, yes.
I took it into the dungeon, and like yellow bar majors, one shot was taking more than 2/3 of their health. I was like, damn, that's crazy. I don't know if it's hitting heavy numbers or if it's hitting more than heavy numbers because I didn't have any heavy because I was just building the stacks with that thing. But it was hitting so hard, man. Good Lord. So I need damage numbers. Ask Cross Fallout somebody.
There were some post-reveal FAQs, so let's run through those. So will Renegades be a Destiny story? From the assistant game director Robbie Stevens, rest assured, Guardians, everything in Renegades, which is this Star Wars one, is in canon for the Destiny universe, but we're leaning to the aesthetic, tone, and vibe of Star Wars to tell Destiny story with Destiny characters. The most important one came up. Will Vault Space be increased? Vault Space will not be increased with the Edge of Fate. You had all this time, Bungie, but you're not increasing it with the Edge of Fate.
But they are increasing it.
No. But they do have an additional Vault Space and quality of life feature planned for Renegades later this year. So stay tuned for details.
For Renegades. Yeah, we're going to give you more Vault Space. You get 5 more slots. It's probably going to be 100 like it was last time. They seem to only include.
It would be good if you could put your exotic weapons and your armor pieces on a separate kind of storage page, and then that would free up quite a bit of area. So maybe they'll do that like in a collections book, but it is your actual kind of crafted exotic weapons and the exotic weapons, and you can access both of those.
I don't think that would help people like me though, right? Because even right now in my vault, I've only got like 4 exotic weapons, right?
Maybe it would help if you had exotic armors in there as well that are your exotic armors that are those stats and things.
That would help a lot if we can put the exotic armors in a different slot, for sure.
Will the new portal feature fully replace the director? And the director will continue to be available through a worlds tab next to the portals. And their goal with portals is to get more streamlined experience for all players to find fun quickly and understand what's next for them to do in Destiny.
All right. Now where the hell are you reading that?
I'm now in the TWAB.
Okay.
So some items were shown at 10 power in the stream. What's going on there? Well, they'll have more details on the power cap and climb in the future TWID, but they can confirm that the power will be rebased at launch. All players will have their power refreshed as they embark on this new journey. Now, I like that idea. Just refresh it all, get us back down to a reasonable number instead of keep climbing up and up and up and up. Don't mind that.
In the end, it's all a number. Whether it's 300 or 3,000, it's still just a number.
Yeah. What stats are being rebalanced or replaced? As shown in the stream, many of our stats are being fully rebalanced or changed with the Edge of Fate. While we don't have exact details to share just yet, they're planning a full breakdown in June, alongside a lengthy article covering the sandbox tuning between the weapons and abilities. So we've just had a sandbox update this week with the different tuning of weapons and abilities, or weapons and armor. We're getting more stuff tuning.
But the reason I do kind of like this whole rework is, for example, in PvP, Titans tend to have an edge because their class ability recharge rate is based on their resilience, which is something you already inside PvP. And the Warlock's class ability is based on their recovery, which again is something you really want in PvP.
Which is why they're changing it out.
Yeah, exactly. And Hunters is based on mobility, which only increases your strafe speed. Right? So, what? So this was a good change. I do like that. I think
you get your own class set.
Except for the whole, you can make weapons hit harder just by backing into armor. Golly.
Somebody asked what comes with the Year of Prophecy Ultimate Edition. We've already just gone through that, so you don't need to know. How much will a reward pass cost during the Year of Prophecy? So if you just buy like the standard version and don't get the additional reward passes for the extra parts of it. So if you buy the Edge of Fate and the Ashen Iron, which is a major update, which is coming free to all the players, which is part of the second half of the Reclamation season, that is free, but it comes with its own reward pass. And the same with Shadow and Order, which is the second half of the Renegades, which is the Lawless season. Those, if you want to purchase those separately, they're going to be 1,000 silver for each season pass. Rite of the Nine has begun, and
it has.
You can get some rewards if you do various different things with your titles, unlocking the Seasonal Dungeoneer Triumph and complete the Seeker of the Nine Triumph. There's a t-shirt. What else is there? A disc plate. and a unisex bracelet. Very nice. Heavy Metal is here, and Respawn's been playing it because he's just bought his way to the new reward, the Griffon Combat Sparrow. Yes. Read that again. Combat Sparrow.
Griffin Combat Sparrow. You can shoot while you're on your Sparrow now. Yeah.
Yeah. And if all who earn the Heavy Metal title, because yes, there's a title, and you can get the Heavy Metal pin, and you have until 9:59 a.m. PDT on July 14th to get that. There's the Heavy Metal tournament update. So last week they announced that the creators tournament for Heavy Metal will be kicking off, but unfortunately due to some last minute logistics, the team available changes, and they weren't able to make this instant work out. But never fear, they're going to do their best something again in the future. In the meantime, you'll be able to jump into the Mayhem for yourself, and nothing changes with the Mad Dog emblem drop. So you've just got to watch any opted-in streamer on Twitch for 1 hour between May 9th and May 16th to receive the Mad Dog emblem. If you're a Destiny creator, like we are, Respawn, you need to do this. If you're a streamer, video editor, lore specialist, artist, cosplayer, or anything else to do with Destiny, and you do content creation, they're going to set up a hub. We're going to have a creator hub. After a long soft launch period, they're pleased to now officially open our Destiny 2 Creator Hub to the public applications. So by joining the Creator Hub, you'll get access to exclusive rewards, news, events, opportunities, and more. And they primarily operate on Discord and supported in 3 languages for now, English, French, and German, with the potential for more languages support to be added later. And if you're interested, they have a link in the TWAB, and then you go and fill out your details, what you do, and then you send that off to them, and they will kind of hopefully respond at some point. But due to the anticipated volume of application, they'll not be responding to every single application, and ask for your patience and understanding as they get through everything. There's going to be some voice acting updates for the Rite of 9 and Edge of Fate.
Are we going to have voice actors now?
We're going to have voice actors, but they're going to be slightly changed, so they sound similar, but probably not the right ones. So certain characters will have different voices in the Rite of 9 and Fate content, as for example for English casting, Orin, Chioma, and Ikora. In some languages, Rite of 9 and content will be silent, and the Edge of Fate will play English voiceovers instead. As they did for Destiny 2 Heresy, subtitles for the story will continue to be enabled by default to ensure narrative content is not missed. Peroty's player support report. Would you like to tell people about what's happening?
I sure can. Well, no, but can I do it? Yes. Yes,
you can.
I can.
I'm sure you can.
Pre-order items info. Pre-order items for the Edge of Fate and Year of Prophecy can be picked up in the special deliveries kiosk located in the tower across from Banshee. It actually lights up. You can't miss it. Players may need to sign back into the game for items to appear or install the proper license by managing their game add-ons on the platform. That actually did happen to me. Whenever after I pre-ordered, I was trying to start the game, and Bungie kept telling me you need to be signed into Steam, and I'm like, I am? Question mark? So I actually shut down the game. I had to shut down Steam. I had to go into my task manager, actually end the Steam processes in the background, and then it would allow me to log back into the game. So that was the whole thing. To manage your add-ons, please view the manage game section in this article. It's a link. Rite of the 9, First Watch and Elegant Arsenal quest fixed. We discovered an issue with defeating Percy's Primordial Ruin. The Spire of the Watcher dungeon is not counting towards the First Watch and Elegant Arsenal long arm quests. Yes, me and Hurricane Project, like as soon as we could log in, we went into the dungeon, beat it. We got in, but nothing came out of either chest. We're like, defer. And then we look at the quest that you get from the 9, and we defeated all the bosses except the boss that we literally just defeated. So yeah, and it was not retroactive. We had to go back in there and beat it again for it to then count as killing the boss and letting us complete the quest. It was really annoying. So yeah, apparently they've issued a fix to stop that from happening. So there you go. Cruel Mercy clarification. In last week's tweet, we announced the new Nightfall Pulse Rifle. Cruel Mercy would drop with jolting feedback. This was incorrect. Yeah, I noticed. And it should have stated that it dropped with Rolling Storm instead. We have corrected this error in the tweet and will work to provide accurate information in the future. Yeah, so I don't really see any good perks on that weapon at all. So, especially since I got rid of jolting feedback, that would have been a saving grace, but you don't even get that anymore. Known issues list. Copy paste. Let's see. Oh no, there's new stuff. Okay, cool. The Explorer difficulty in Rite of the 9 Dungeons requires PlayStation Plus if you're playing solo. Okay. Some Rite of the 9 rewards drop with 0 power level. This can be fixed by infusing another weapon, but you shouldn't have to, Bungie. The Cruel Mercy Pulse Rifle drops without a masterwork. You just don't get a masterwork for that weapon. Sorry, guys. Only the Pale Heart Lost Sector completions count towards By the Heart Seasonal Challenge. Curio of the 9 that were put into the vault cannot be converted into nonary manifolds. Okay. The champ title has lost its gilded status. The Sunless Cell Grandmaster is not available in Fireteam Finder. When speaking to a vendor, you can still hear the ambient dialogue. Ionic Sentry. Okay. So now it looks like all the stuff is the same.
Yeah. See Peroty from last week. And the week
exactly.
before. And the week before that.
And the month before that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And then, it's just Art of the Week. Okay, yeah, that's it.
It is. And we did have update 8.2.6, which gave us some updates to the game and fixes. So you guys did go over them last week, but just to let people know, Trials of Osiris, they fixed an issue with the neutral special ammo crates were spawning after 20 seconds instead of 30 on some maps, and they reduced the time it takes to capture a zone from 20 to 15, added an action button to the Flawless Title passage, which allows you to cycle your glow colour. Competitive, they fixed an issue which could sometimes cause lost forgiveness to fail when a team of all solos match against the trios or duos. They fixed the Sundered Doctrine, where timers were not visibly functioning as intended with the finalities Aegir equipped. Vesper's Host, they fixed an issue where facing the Corrupted Puppeteer where a nuclear core could not be deposited after a white mechanic starts. Fixed an issue with the Warlord's Ruin that could cause a soft lock after dying in the maze. And the Garden of Salvation, Vault of Glass, and Kingsfall fixed an issue where raid banners could be placed in the last moment before starting an encounter and kept after the encounter begins. And everything else you kind of guys went through with hand cannons, submachine guns, all their kind of tunings and things like that. That's what you guys went over last week. I did like your pronunciation last week of the Aliatheum, the stasis rock grenade launcher. Made me laugh.
I don't know.
And then the changes to the Lion Ramparts, the Lunafaction boots, Hunter changes, Warlock changes, Titan changes, abilities, and all of that. Yeah, you guys did that last week. So we will link that in the show notes, the blog post for it, if you guys want to have a look at that and read that. But we do have some more from Respawn this week with his Respawn Report Roundup.
Arms Week is a week-long event focused on a single weapon archetype, launching alongside a new area in the tower, the shooting range.
Yeah, we didn't talk about that. That was something they did bring up on the stream. So Arms Week starts right after the Edge of Fate, and it's a week-long event focused on one weapon archetype each time it comes around, giving you a legendary weapon alongside some volatile mods for the week to play with. And other major events like Arms Week will also feature holofoil weapons.
Update. We've issued a server-side change that should unblock the progress on the Rite of the 9 quest within Explorer difficulties. Through next Tuesday, all players can receive an additional reward when defeating the final boss and completing the dungeon. Let us know if these quests, I guess, don't work or whatever. It's cut off for me. Update. Progress reward for the First Watch and Elegant Arsenal. Long arm quests can be gained for defeating Percy's Primordial Ruin and Inspire the Watcher by completing the dungeon, yada yada, so they fixed it. The team is aware investigating issues where errors are appearing on Bungie.net and Companion app when trying to log in. Use Fireteam Finder or utilize the Destiny 2 API to acquire bounties and move items between your characters and your vault.
I've been finding a lot of errors with that this week, logging in and then having to drag and drop from dim about 10 times before it would move something across. And then on my screen, it would come up contacting Destiny 2 servers. I'm like, oh my God, I got kicked out of an LFG of the ultimatum mode for the dungeon after we got through, I think it was the second encounter, and I was like, I couldn't find the people to get back to them because the app wouldn't open to tell me who I'd most recently played with, and I was really upset. So I don't know if didn't play yesterday, so I'm not entirely sure if the errors are still continuing, but that was yesterday, so okay.
Destiny 2 team, looks like we missed a patch note with update 826. We fixed an issue where the sumptuous repast upgrade with the reshaping slab was providing extra damage when consuming sigil stones, even when the suffocating terror debuff wasn't applied. This upgrade now functions as intended. Oh, we don't get free damage anymore? Come on.
Nope.
We're aware of an issue where the competitive reward area on Lord Shaxx has been pushed down the page that rewards cannot be claimed. Once Heavy Metal ends next Friday, players will be able to claim items from this area again. Yeah, don't fix it or anything.
No. Because it's going away, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Reroll chips are currently disabled due to a stacking issue. We wanted to make sure you didn't lose any chips in the process. We plan to introduce these in the next iteration of Heavy Metal. Yeah, oh, so you can't purchase reroll chips. Okay, I got you. Yeah. You just get the 3 that it gives you for the reward track, but you can't buy any currently.
Yeah.
After that, don't pick up the
enhancement prisms.
No. It says don't pick up the THR unhon and then a space mint prism from the event track. Don't pick up the unhon prism from the event track.
Don't pick up the enhancement prisms from the event track.
Yeah. So the reason is this specific prism as a 4th reward in the event track is bugged. You cannot claim it if you have any other normal shards. And if you spend all your shards to get this specific one, it can't be used. So after picking it up, you'll still be at 0 prisms and you won't be able to pick up any more prisms. Don't do it.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
I think it's actually disabled because when I looked in the game, there was something I couldn't pick up. It was a prism, even though I had space for it. No, it was a shard. It was a shard, even though I had space for it. It was grayed out. So I think they've disabled it to prevent that from happening anyway. So
fair enough.
Yeah, which is good. Controller sensitivity in Heavy Metal reduced. Unsure if it's intentional because I know mouse and keyboard doesn't have this happening, but controller sensitivity is terribly slow when in a Drake or a Brig. In the video provided, I have 11 sensitivity, but it certainly does not look like it. Bungie says, hi there. Thanks for your report and the video. Having reviewed the video and your report, we understand the controller sensitivity appears heavily reduced in the Heavy Metal activity. It does seem strange for us. For our investigation, could you let us know if resetting your controller settings to default or using a different controller seems to impact this? Or you guys could use a controller when playing it to see if it happens to y'all.
Could do.
Destiny 2 team. Fully enhanced adept weapons earned during the Rite of the 9 will be somewhat comparable to Tier 3 weapons launching with our new gear tiering system in the Edge of Fate. When does the Edge of Fate come out again? September?
15th
September
of
15th.
July.
Of July?
9 weeks.
Oh, well, I'm not even farmers weapons if that's the case. Damn. Our goal is for Rite of the 9 weapons to give you an edge deep into the new season. Well, I mean, And that's it. That's the whole shabwangi.
So how do you feel about that? They've given us an event. We're grinding for these weapons and shinies and adepts.
They don't mean a thing. I think
they mean tier 3. Tier 3, that's what they mean.
Yeah.
There'll be tiers.
It says,
3 tiers.
Well, it depends on what the other weapons in our vault are going to be at. Are they going to be at tier 1, 0? I mean, does our roll depend on the tier? Does our roll not matter at all? I guess that all kind of has an impact, I suppose.
I guess it does. This is your weekly rundown of episode Heresy, week 15, starting on May 13th. The new limited time event Rite of the 9 is now live in game, giving Guardians access to 3 dungeons, with no dungeon keys required and free to all players. Found in the Eternity node, each week one dungeon will be the featured dungeon for the week, rotating weekly with the Spire of the Watcher, Prophecy, and Ghost of the Deep. This week's featured dungeon should be Prophecy. Rite of the 9 is available in 3 versions. Explorer mode for Guardians who are new to dungeons, with tooltips explaining mechanics, no darkness zones, 5-second revive timer, and waypointing. Eternity mode for more experienced Guardians, and Ultimatum mode, for a tougher challenge, tougher enemies, tougher modifiers, and greater rewards. With a selection of 12 returning dungeon weapons with updated perks, a new 9 theme aesthetic, and even adept weapons for those who take on the hardest challenge. Weapon attuning is also available, similar to how the Brave Arsenal works in Onslaught. Weapons available are the Arc Precision Frame Auto Rifle Prosecutor, the Strand High Impact Frame Pulse Rifle Relentless, the Strand Adaptive Frame Hand Cannon Judgment, the Void Aggressive Frame Shotgun A Sudden Death, the Void Double Frame Grenade Launcher Wilder Flight, the Arc Aggressive Frame Scout Rifle Long Arm, the Stasis Heavy Burst Sidearm Liminal Vigil, the Arc High Impact Frame Machine Gun Terminus Horizon, the Stasis Wave Frame Grenade Launcher New Pacific Epitaph, the Solar Aggressive Frame Submachine Gun No Survivors, the Solar Rapid Fire Glaive Greasy Luck, and the Stasis Aggressive Frame Rocket Launcher Cold Comfort. All of these weapons come with the new Origin trait called Gravity Well. When reloading, this weapon automatically gathers nearby ammo, which is exclusive to these weapons. Plus, also live in-game is the new PvP mode Heavy Metal, where teams of Guardians are battling it out in tanks versus Brigs. Heavy Metal also brought with it a new way to play with event homes, which is the new replacement for event cards, where you'll find weekly and rotating daily challenges related to the event. Plus, these homes have their own reward tracks to unlock items as you complete challenges and play the event activities. Heavy Metal also has its own event rank track, with 15 ranks available to all players. Each rank has its own reward, like a weapon, an emblem, or enhancement materials. Another key aspect of the new event home is the event tokens. This is a new currency that's obtained upon completion of daily and weekly challenges, with the latter granting a more generous amount. The tokens you earn by playing during the event can be used in the reward shop to purchase any rewards during each event. Just don't sleep on the tokens, as they will go away when the event is over. The reward shop will have rewards like weapons and materials, and a new item called a reroll chip. This second type of currency can be used to reroll one of your daily challenges. You can either reroll a challenge you've already completed to get an additional daily challenge, or you can reroll to get a different challenge if the one available doesn't fit your playstyle. Reroll chips can be earned in the rank track, with additional ones available in the Eververse store for a small amount of silver. Heavy Metal and its live event will conclude this Friday at Reset. If Dungeons and Fighting Brigs aren't your thing and you've finished episode Heresy story, you have some time to catch up before the Edge of Fate begins on July 15th, giving you some time to finish anything from episode Echoes, episode Revenant, as well as Heresy. Or you could complete your Nightfall Conquest seal, play some Gambit, or even go for Ascendant in competitive Crucible. Act 2 of episode Heresy brought with it the new activity, the Court of Blades. Set within the Dreadnought's Hole of Souls area, players are transported to different arenas across the system, from Io to Europa and on board a Hive warship. Court of Blades has 2 difficulty options, Normal and Expert, with adept versions of the Act 2 weapons only dropping in the Expert version. Also, the Grandmaster Nightfall note is available, giving Guardians the opportunity to complete their Conquest seal for this episode. With this note becoming available, this gives Guardians the chance to jump ahead and complete Act 3's Nightfalls, these being the Insight Terminus Week 16 May 20th, and Warden of Nothing Week 17 May 27th. Or conversely, you'll be able to complete Act 1 and Act 2's Grandmasters, which are now not available. Starlight Battlegrounds Moon, Lake of Shadows on the EDZ, Scarlet Keep on the Moon, Hypernet Current on Europa, Hive Battlegrounds Mars, and the Starlight Battlegrounds Cosmodrome. Act 1 of episode Heresy brought with it the new 3-player activity, the Nether. Set within the Dreadnought Patrol Zones, Guardians fight in random and varied encounters with different events and objectives every time. The Nether has 3 modes: the Nether Exploration for those solo types who want to just explore the Dreadnought, a match-made mode on baseline advanced difficulty, and a selectable non-match-made expert version. From Act 3 of episode Revenant, we have the new exotic mission Kel's Fall, where you can earn the new Void exotic shotgun Slayer's Fang, and new Prison of Elders challenge Kel's Vengeance, which can be found over in the Last City for 2 to 3 players. Act 2 of episode Revenant brought with it the Tomb of Elders, and Contest of Elders over in the Last City, which can be accessed after you complete the initial steps of Act 2. Also available for a weekly pinnacle is the Salvation's Edge raid, over in the Pale Heart, and new dungeon Sundered Doctrine, which can be found over on the Throne World, with the exotic linear fusion rifle Finality's Ager up for grabs, and a whole suite of new weapons and armour. Just make sure to visit Icor over in the tower to pick up the quest Drowning Labyrinth to enter. Over in the Last City we have Onslaught Salvation, which can be accessed after you complete the initial steps of the opening act of Revenant. This version of Onslaught brings with it new defences, 3 maps that are not in the Vanguard playlist version, and new enemies to fight. You can select from Widow's Court, Eventide Ruins, and Kel's Grave, either normal or expert. Also, the original Onslaught has been updated to include some of the new additions. Located in the Vanguard playlist, the featured Onslaught map this week will be Vostok, with the Siege Hook Ogre kicking off the boss rotation. In the Last City on the Helm, the exotic mission Encore is still available, with 2 difficulty options, normal and expert. Also, from episode Echoes, we have the 3 new battleground activities, Delve, Conduit, and Core, with Enigma Protocol and Breach Executable. The Expert Battlegrounds will start this week's rotation with Conduit. The Dreaming City this week is at a weak curse level, which means Pet Revenge can be found in the Strand and has the Broken Courier mission for the next week. The Blind One features Scorn enemies and the Plague, Sicarus and Veracus. The Ascendant Challenge will be the Forfeit Shrine over in the Gardens of Vasilia. On the Moon, the weekly story mission is Beyond. The Trove Guardian is located in Archer's Line, while the Wandering Nightmare is the Nightmare of Hawkis in the Anchor of Light. Nightmare hunts Skolas, Pride, Fanatic, Insanity, and Omnigul Anguish. The Altars of Sorrow will start this week's rotation with the Nightmare of Tanix and the Apostate Sniper. On Europa this week, Corridis the Dark Priestess will be the Empire Hunt, Eventide Runes will be the Eclipse Zone, and the Exo Challenge will be Survival. Dares of Eternity Expert difficulty rounds are Vex, Cabal, and Crota. The Scatterhorn armor set and the Pathfinder armor set will be available in Dares of Eternity with Weapon Set 4. Fractithis, Chrysea Milo, Volpicula, Wolftone Draw, Iotona Draconis, Canis Major, Contingency Plan, Legal Action 2, Outrageous Fortune, Steel Syllabus C14, and Spoiler Alert. The Witch Queen Weekly Story mission is The Arrival, Altar of Reflections Catalyst, and Altar of Reflections Insight. The Wellspring activity will start the week on Attack, with the Arc Auto Rifle Come to Pass and Goldmag Hive Ogre as the boss. The Lightful Weekly mission is First Contact, the Partition mission will be Backdoor, and the Vex incursion will be Zephyr Concourse. In the Pale Heart, the exotic mission Dual Destiny is still available for teams of 2 Guardians, where you can farm the mission to earn as many new prismatic exotic class items as you like. The Final Straight's Cooperative Focus campaign mission this week will be Descent. The 12 Guardian Matchmade Excision mission is also available next to the race for a weekly pinnacle, with the Grandmaster version granting the Ergo Sum Catalyst and an Ascendant Shard. The Salvation Jade Raid Challenge this week is the second encounter, Dissipation, called At Capacity. The Kingsfall Raid Challenge this week is the fourth encounter, Daughters of Oryx, called Under Construction. The Vow the Disciple Challenge this week is the first encounter, Acquisition, called Swift Destruction. The Vault of Glass Challenge this week is the fifth encounter, Atheon, called Ensembler's Refrain. The Garden of Salvation Challenge this week is the third encounter, Consecrated Mine, called Staying Alive. And the last Swiss Challenge this week is the fourth encounter, Vault, called Keep Out. Featured Pinnacle Raid 1 will be Root of Nightmares over on Neptune, and featured Pinnacle Raid 2 will be the Deepstone Crypt over on Europa, with all challenges available for all encounters, with the Exotic Shotgun Conditional Finality being farmable from the final boss in Nightmares, and the Exotic Rocket Launcher Eyes of Tomorrow from the final boss in Crypt. Featured Pinnacle Dungeon 1 will be the Pit of Heresy on the Moon, and Pinnacle Dungeon 2 will be the Spire of the Watcher over on the Throneworm. The Exotic Mission Rotator will be Presage, with the Dead Man's Tale Exotic Scout Rifle being the main reward, the Season the Haunted, and Opulent Weapon sets, plus the Idolian Pursuant Armor set. The Exotic Missions, The Whisper and 0 Hour will also be available in the Legends tab. This week's challenges are Last Rites, Ultimate Champion, Europa Activities, Calibrate Long Range, and Tithe to Ruin. Lost Sectors, Tuesday Exodus Garden 2A on the Cosmodrome, Wednesday Aphelios Rest on the Dreaming City, Thursday the Chamber of Starlight on the Dreaming City, Friday Hydroponics Delta on Neptune, Saturday Gilded Precept on Neptune, Sunday Thrillerdrome on Neptune, and Monday the Broken Deep in the Pale Heart. The Grandmaster Nightfalls continue this week with our 15th featured Nightfall, which will see us face off against a Hole in the reprised Destiny 1 strike, the Sunless Cell, with the Wildstar Grenade Launcher as the featured adept weapon. The 6v6 playlist will be Control. The 6v6 quick play mode should be the new game mode Heavy Metal. Survival should be in the small teams quick play, and Momentum Control could also be available, with Trials of Osiris at the weekend. This week should also see bonus Trials Reputation available all weekend long. And as a reminder, the annual Moments of Triumph continue, with a collection of 33 challenges celebrating everything you've been able to achieve in this past year. If you've been active, you'll likely already have some of these completed, which just gets you closer to the 26 you'll need to earn the 2024 seal and title. Still available is the Destiny 10th Anniversary in-game celebration event, and don't forget to keep an eye on Zer this Friday at Reset to see if he's offering another chance to grab a random world exotic class item for 41 strange coins. And that's it for the 15th week of the Final Shape episode Heresy. Well, I've got some videos.
Okay.
For everybody to kind of check out this week. So from Cheese Forever, we have the game-breaking rapid-fire New Land Beyond Melt Boss glitch. Check that out if you've got one of those and you want to try that out. The Titan Cape, the most unique interactions in Destiny 2 from Crips. So the Titan Cape from Darth Vader,
the
cloak. The cloak. He calls it a cape,
what?
but I know it's a cloak. So it has a very unique interaction. Although it's attached to the chest piece and not the actual class item, the class item is what actually gives it its color. So if you change the class item color, it will change the color of the cloak, which is quite cool. But it's if you have either one that isn't attached, it doesn't show up on the Titan.
Even the game knows. Even the game knows it doesn't belong on a Titan.
And Cheese Forever this week also put out a video that if you pre-order the Ultimate Edition of Edge of Fate, you get on the Xbox, and I think he said PlayStation as well, all the DLC for free up till now. It just, once you click that button and you say, yes, I want that, if you then go back through and you haven't got any of the other expansions, and we're talking like the whole Light and Dark saga, that the system will go, you can have this for free.
Nice.
So that's cool if you haven't got that. So
Cheese
put out a video this week.
And maybe you should do that quickly if you don't have all the expansions.
Yeah. Astrocross this week. I say Astrocross. It was Luke from Astrocross's team that put out the complete guide to the Rite of 9. And this is because Astrocross apparently was losing his voice. So Luke does that for you. And then Fallout Plays has done every major exotic change before and after for the Rite of 9. And this goes over all the different things with the exotics and the armor pieces. And the one weapon that he kind of highlighted is the Vex Mythoclast. Has kind of got a slight stealth buff to it, and it's doing really well.
Oh.
And I will come to that later because I have another video. But also just for pure entertainment, esoteric, Solo Flawless Eternity Spire of the Watcher. Oh, that man just puts us all to shame. And did you know the Liminal Vigil is back in Destiny 2? Pay to be Famous says this thing melts in PvP, and that's with Kill Clip and another perk.
Is that an auto rifle? What is that?
That's the sidearm, the stasis sidearm.
Oh, that one. Oh, that's why Hurricane was talking about that. I'm like, it doesn't look like anything special.
No,
so is it bug melting or is it melting on purpose?
No, it's doing really well. I think he got something like 98 stability and like 98 range on it with the way that you can kind of set it up. So go and check that out because it's probably that's Paid to be Famous.
Nice.
Yeah. And Astrocross has got a guide on the only Sparrow you can build craft, which is a limited time one, which you have now got because you paid your way there. And it goes over all the different things. So literally, if you are on an Arctitan, if you're on an Arc subclass, you get Blind. If you're on a Strand, you get Suspend. Void, you get Volatile. Stasis, you get Freeze. And Solar, you get Burn. So that's pretty cool.
It does significant damage too. Like I was testing it earlier, just like in regular activities, and a red bar with a shield, one shot from the Sparrow takes his whole shield and brings him down to 1/4 his health.
Yeah, so, I saw a couple of people take him into like Grandmasters and things, and like, damn, just for funsies.
I wouldn't do that because it still has the Sparrow health pool. So, but it's slow too. You know that the one vehicle that we get in the game where you get in it and it's super slow, and when you hit your boost, it kind of like rams real fast, and it's got the guns on it. It moves a lot like that. You're not very fast. Whenever you hit your boost, there's a delay before you actually boost, right? So it's not a fast Sparrow by any means. Probably to compensate for the fact that you can shoot things now. Yeah, and the fire rate isn't.
Yeah, it's like the Fallen one, isn't it? With all the you can fire. That was a bit slower.
Yeah,
but say Wallabra has even gone further than Fallout this week and shown you how broken the Vex Mythoclast is with a certain Warlock boots, the Rain of Fire. So the Rain of Fire has air dodge, reloads all of your weapons, improves airborne effectiveness of fusion rifles and linear fusion rifles. Final blows with these weapons make you radiant and provides a moderate benefit to the airborne effectiveness stats of fusion rifles and linear fusion rifles. And that is broken, apparently, with the Vex Mythoclast in PvP.
Yeah, no, it sounds evil.
I mean, apparently Vex Mythoclast is doing really well because it's now benefited from the buff that the auto rifles got. The auto rifles, the high impacts, they've increased the base damage by 4% and the body shot damage goes from 23 to 24. And because it's coded as one of these heavy auto rifles, it's benefiting from those new updates.
And it also gets all the fusion rifle bonuses too. It's double dipping.
And then just for if anybody needs to have a look at the ultimatum mode of the Spire of the Watcher, Datto has loadouts and builds, the mode guide for you. So I'm guessing it's going to be around. I don't know if it's going to be something that's always up now. Now that we've had it for this 1 week, it's still going to be there, or it will rotate to the other two dungeons.
I heard it rotates, but I don't know.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's meant to be a featured dungeon each week, but it doesn't. I don't know if they will leave the other one there so you can still go back and play it, or we have to wait for the 3 weeks for it to come back round again. So if you do, there you go.
There's an Astrocross video that goes over the New Land Beyond, all the changes, whether or not it's better than the old. I'm sorry, whether or not he goes over the New Land Beyond, and whether or not it's better than the whatever the hell it's. I don't care. Watch Astrocross and look at the sniper rifle video. I can't talk today.
I'll put it in the show notes. Don't worry.
Yeah.
And because Peroty hasn't left me all the Patreons, me and Respawn do appreciate you. We don't remember you by name, but we appreciate you. But Peroty only remembers you by name because he has it on a list in front of him every single week that he updates every single week. So thank you to Peroty for keeping that list and holding on to that list to yourself, basically. Thank you. Because I'm now going to have to drop in you from last week to say thank you to the Patreons again.
We are getting Nitedemon and lovely Guardians, our lovely Patreons that have gone to patreon.com/TTH. Renard Gallant, who has already been threatened with a good time, and Zep Orbit, also threatened with a good time, our Otter Dance Troop, blah 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 blah, the Scarlet KM and the Dedicated Wham 64. Our grenade throwers, our lovely grenade throwers, is Mr. Blah 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 himself, Noble, Mr. Blah blah blah, Golden God 1562, Fire Squad 1688, the man Conan from Texas and Farrell, and finally the last blah 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 we have is Gravy Jeff. Of Deacon's Day 1 Raid Team, we appreciate each and every one of you lovely human beings.
Yeah, I can't even look at like the members of the Patreon channel.
Nope.
Because it just has like you and only you for some reason.
I'm the best patron out there.
I guess so. Oh, show member list. Here we go. Hold on. Oh, here we go.
Oh,
it just shows who's online.
It doesn't tell you the tiers. There are many tiers, especially since we don't do. You haven't got a live stream going. There's no live stream tiers.
Yeah.
Tiers and tiers.
Sorry, guys.
But anyway, thank you very much for being our patrons. And if you want to be a patron, head on over to patreon.com/ is it TTAH? I think so. I think that's it. But we appreciate you for listening to us anyway. And anybody that does tune in and listen to us ramble on for the last hour or so.
Yep.
But yeah, that's the end of the show. If you're here, you found us, and we are on everywhere. Yeah.
We're everywhere.
There's a YouTube channel, and we put stuff on YouTube each and every week. This show, we put what's coming up on the Eververse store and what Shader 1 has. So if you want to see, if you're new and you've missed out on some shaders from the past of Destiny, she has these on a rotating basis. Some don't kind of turn up for months, years on end. And we put out a nice little video of what they look like and where to go and get those for that week. And the Eververse store for the week, obviously. And on a Sunday, we release what is coming up for the next week of Destiny. So check those out.
In the meantime, I gotta go.
He's got to go. I've got to go.
Bye. Deuces.
So bye. Deuces.
Two Titans and a Hunter, a Destiny 2 podcast.
No, it's just me. I could say anything. Or I could just stop the show. I think I'll just stop the show. Bye, everyone.